That sounds like a sound life decision, Ashley. Welcome to this new angle of my room because I couldn't be bothered to clean up that mess. I had asked you guys for questions for a Q&A, I think over a full month ago now, and then promptly forgot about it. But today, because my life is kind of falling apart and I don't have time to film a full fashion related video, I thought I'd whip out this Q&A real quick. Hopefully the people who've asked these haven't unsubscribed since they asked them like a month ago. Let's jump into these questions. So my first one is, why did you start a YouTube channel and who is your inspiration for starting one? So I started this YouTube channel, I think a little bit over 2 years ago. Honestly, couldn't tell you exactly why I started my YouTube channel. Kind of just a combination of liking fashion, being a weird ass kid who liked to talk to a camera, liking to edit videos. I don't think I had at that point like a unique fashion vision to share with the world or really much of a personality on camera, but I kind of like just playing around with the whole video making thing. I also grew up in like a super boring suburban town where there wasn't a whole lot of entertainment, so yeah, why not put my face on YouTube? That's normal. Fun fact though, I actually also had a YouTube channel before this. I think when I was in like 2nd to 3rd grade. My original channel was called Pipe Cleaner Studios, and it was literally just like 30-second videos with dinosaur figurines I'd made out of pipe cleaners. I remember distinctly there was a yellow dinosaur named Charlie, and he just had little adventures with his friends. I think one of my videos got like 100 views one time. I was like ready for my YouTube fame. At that time, I was also super into Community Channel, and I still am whenever she uploads, like every 3 months. So I also started uploading these weird like Community Channel-esque videos, like a super off-brand version of Community Channel where I was trying to do like a little bit of stand-up and like little skits where I would edit together videos of myself talking to myself. Needless to say, those did not get a lot of views either, but people kind of started making fun of me in my Girl Scout troop about them, and then I felt bad and I told my mom that I had put my face on YouTube, which was like a crime as a little kid. After that, I just felt so guilty about it that I deleted all my videos and my channel. And that, my friends, is why I never tell anybody about my channel nowadays, because I've been scarred. Oh, and the other part of this question, who's your inspiration for starting one? I honestly don't remember too many of the channels that I watched back then, just because I feel like YouTube has a kind of high turnover rate and I don't watch a whole lot of the same people that I did 2 years ago. I think I watched Jen M back then, and I really loved Chriselle Lim. Her channel is so professional and beautiful, but I think back when she was starting out more like 3 or 4 years ago, she would make these really cool, just like homemade videos of her mixing and matching basics in super creative ways. So I really loved watching her videos, and I would watch them like over and over and over again. Okay, my next question is, when did you start to take an interest in fashion, and were you always into fashion? No, actually, when I was a kid, probably up until like 9th grade, I was such a tomboy. I hated fashion and beauty and everything like girly so much. I think a lot of that though was a result of my mom and like most of the other adults I grew up around being second wave feminists, in that they kind of ingrained in me like if I wanted to be smart and successful and a badass, then I had to reject really girly things, and that liking beauty and fashion and stuff like that was like a sign of being superficial and like a waste of brain power, which I do still admit that beauty and fashion are definitely more superficial parts of life and shouldn't be like the focus of your entire life, unless you're me and you make your money on YouTube somehow. But as I've learned a lot more in college, it is completely possible to be a girly girl, to love your outfits and your makeup and, you know, chat about boys with your friends or whatever, and be a complete career badass. Like, those things are not antithetical at all. In a lot of ways, they can complement one another. So yeah, there's your weekly feminist message. But back to how I got into fashion. My older sister was always a lot more fashionable than I was, and every night me and my family would watch TV together. So the show that she got into and she got the rest of my family, including my dad, hooked on was Project Runway. So we watched probably like 7 seasons of that, and we'd always like critique the runway shows together. So for a while I kind of had this interest in fashion, but I never would actually dress up because I didn't want to see like I was trying hard or like I was girly. But finally in high school I kind of broke away from that and I started dressing a lot nicer. I feel like a big part of being confident with your style, especially if you see the same people a lot, is to just keep dressing however the fuck you want, and then eventually they'll just expect you to dress in your badass way. So that's kind of what happened to me in high school. I dressed way fancier than everybody else in my school, but everybody just like, it was like, that's just how Ashley dresses. Okay, next question is, what school do you go to and what are you studying? I said this before in a couple other videos, but I go to UCLA and I'm studying film, television, and digital media, even though they kind of just slapped the digital media onto the end of that major and we don't learn that much about it. Along that line, somebody asked, what was your college decision process like? My college decision process was a bit of a doozy. Has anybody said that since like the 50s? Because at my high school, they didn't have a film program at all. Obviously, since I grew up in suburban Maryland, there wasn't like a film industry that I could really go and like learn from. But basically just at the end of my junior year, when I was thinking about what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, I was like, well, film is a cool thing, and I made like one short film that my classmates said I was good, so that sounds like a sound life decision, Ashley. So I decided to apply to 3 film schools, USC, NYU, and UCLA, which are the top 3 undergrad film programs in the nation, as well as 7 other, like, traditionally academically good schools. So I told myself that if I made it into one of the top 3 film schools, then I would allow myself to give this whole film thing a shot. And if I didn't, I probably wouldn't have a great chance in the industry, so I just major in something normal, I guess. So without sounding too obnoxious, hopefully, I ended up getting into NYU and UCLA's film programs. And then for non-film schools, I got into several, but my top contenders were Columbia and Stanford. I got to visit Columbia and NYU, and I love New York from the bottom of my heart. I think it is by far the best city in America. I spent a lot of time there as a kid, and I'd always go up there with my dad on his business trips. I was considering Columbia pretty heavily because I was also a John Jay Scholar, which is like some special distinction where they basically pay for you to do anything you want over the summer. And also Columbia has a really good graduate program in filmmaking. But when I visited, it became pretty apparent to me that basically there wasn't a great undergrad film program. In their film studies major, you didn't really get to make anything. You were just like studying ye olde films. And also Columbia's core curriculum is a thickaboy. NYU was really cool. It's technically ranked higher than UCLA in terms of film schools in like the one ranking of film schools that exists on the internet. But what I didn't like is that the program is around 200 people in each grade, which is a lot larger than UCLA's 15. And obviously the main issue was tuition, which is insane. With room and board, I think it's like $76,000. Not to say that out-of-state tuition is cheap at UCLA at all, but it's nearly half the price of NYU. I never actually ended up visiting Stanford, which I kind of regret to this day. But at this point, I really had my heart set on being a film major. This overly long explanation then left me with UCLA. I liked that it had the smallest program, and they also seemed flexible with allowing me to graduate in 3 years, which would also help cut my tuition costs a lot. And I also liked that it was right here in LA, which means that people I meet at school and internships and stuff are already in Hollywood, which is where I'm gonna end up. I will say, especially last year, I wasn't sure if I made the right choice, and especially the fact that I gave up Columbia and Stanford to come here made me like really salty when the program wasn't doing everything that I wanted it to. But at the end of the day, I do think, you know, you only get one life, so it's worth fighting for a career that you actually really want. Hopefully it works out for me. We shall see. Ask like 40-year-old me who may be unemployed. This, I swear, is the last college-related question because I realized that I rambled about that last one for like 10 minutes. This one asks, you got into Stanford, how did you perform in high school / what were your ECs? I'll probably do a whole nother video about college applications. I know that in high school, they are like the biggest fucking deal ever. Basically, my sole purpose in life for 18 years was just to get into a good college. I'll say real quick that I had a 4.0 and a 2390 on my SAT, and I did far too many extracurriculars that I didn't actually like. Basically, I was very much a tryhard. But if I have any advice for college applications, I'd say that especially for like elite schools, it's really more about having like a unique angle than being really, really great at everything. The letter that the admissions officer sent me from Stanford basically just said that what they really appreciated about my application was my kind of entrepreneurial side. Like one summer I started an Etsy shop and I sold my art. I told them that I had a fashion blog, although I don't think I mentioned my YouTube channel. Obviously I ended up in film school anyway, which was basically the result of a script that I wrote in like 1 week. So that work was like low-key for nothing anyway. Next question is, how do you find time to balance school and YouTube? This is a good question for me now because I am struggling a little bit, especially since I'm graduating in 3 years. I've been taking a lot more classes than average, and also to help pay my tuition. Up until last quarter, I had been working part-time at restaurants as well. I will say I'm super grateful that things have actually gotten a lot easier in the past 2 quarters because YouTube is now paying enough that I've been able to quit my part-time jobs, so that's just another thing off my schedule. Although now I also edit 2 videos a week for some other YouTubers, so it is kind of a lot on my plate. Ever since I turned 16, I've been working 2 to 4 part-time jobs in an attempt to save up for college, so I am pretty used to being a bit overscheduled. I'd say with any time management issue, it's mostly just a matter of not spending too much time thinking about how much you have to do and just actually doing it. And also when I'm working, I just don't take a whole lot of breaks or watch TV on a regular basis. Oh, and it also helps to have a really dead social life. So, okay, our next question is, how do I feel more confident in my clothing? I actually really like this question because I feel like confidence is such a big part of any outfit that you wear. It's like, confidence is the best accessory is a quote that sounds nice. I think like anything in terms of personal development, being confident is just a process. Especially when you're a teenager, I feel like it just takes a certain number of years to like grow into your body and also your personality and who you are. I'm definitely still working on my confidence, but I feel a lot more like comfortable and at home in my own body and my own face and everything than I did a couple years ago. If there's any like quick tip fix that I could provide though, it would be to get a good full-length mirror and get some good natural lighting in your room. When I was living in the dorm last year, first of all, we had a really bad mirror from Target Target that literally distorted you to make you look shorter. And second of all, the room was really dark and all we had was this gross like green-yellow fluorescent light. So I looked in the mirror every morning when I put together my outfit and I thought it looked a lot worse than it actually did. So yeah, just do yourself a favor and get yourself a nice little setup so that you can see how your outfit actually looks. I got a couple questions about my workout routine, and I would say first of all, watch this video that I posted a couple videos ago about body image and kind of my weird journey down like the fitness rabbit hole of exercising way too much. Now I don't really go to the gym anymore. First of all, just because all the gym bros really intimidate me. So now pretty much just like a couple times a week or whenever I'm feeling like it, I'll just do some exercises like on the floor of my apartment. Mostly I just do some light butt and ab exercises. And for cardio, I pretty much just walk to class, go shopping, and have sex. Okay, I have a lot more questions, but my roommates are coming back home soon, so I'll just finish off with this one, which I thought was really cute, and it is, when did you have your first kiss? So this is some pretty classic, like, YouTube story time shit, but my first kiss was actually really, really cute, although the guy's a bit of a interesting guy now. It was this guy that I had liked for a long time, and he asked me to our junior year prom, so I think I was either 16 or 17 at that point. There was a lot of buildup in, like, awkward 16-year-old sexy texting. We didn't actually kiss at prom because we are wholesome Christians like that. I'm just kidding, we were actually just outside talking when the slow dance came on, so we missed it. But after prom, he basically took me through this neighborhood and he like led me through another house's backyard. He made me jump over a fence, which was definitely illegal, and then led me to this patio area and he was like, here we are. And I thought it was somebody else's house and I was really freaked out and I thought we were breaking into somewhere. And then he was like, just kidding, this is my house. And I have like chocolate dipped strawberries and sandwiches set up for us. So that was really cute. We had like a little nighttime picnic and then we lay and watched the stars and then we kissed. So yeah, this is like pretty much the cheesiest first kiss story ever, but I'm glad I have a cute story. Alright, that's all I have for you guys. Next week I'm gonna try to do like an outfit of the week video because I don't think I've done one in like a month and a half and I really like making those for you guys. So yeah, I will see you guys then. Bye.